Revolting news. We're up to year 5, which is number 5, Gala Christmas number. Special for Christmas 1962 by Tuli Kupferberg, edited by Tuli and Sylvia Topp. Now, Gala number 5, Christmas toys, people for sale, gifts for your pets, gifts for all, center pages, gift for the man who has nothing, inside back cover, Monster Xmas Rally back cover. This is the fifth issue of Yeah, very famous magazine that was put out by Tuli in the 60s. And let me read you some of it. A special Christmas number dedicated to Mr. K and K, I don't know who they are, mass murderers, who by the infinite crimes they daily commit, sanction or prepare for, save us poor mammalings from the responsibility of personal murder. He must be talking about soldiers. Let him who is without sin cast the first bomb. This was done in the shadow of the hydrogen bomb, in the same way that we are now in the shadow of the COVID virus. People were really afraid of mass extinction by a hydrogen bomb. Editor Tuli Kupferberg, December 1962. Subscription $1 for the next 4 issues, or until the end of the world. Announcing the first annual World's Worst Poetry Contest. Send your or your friends manuscripts. Now, Tuli wrote a visit from Old Nicholas. Now, you all know who Old Nicholas is. He's not Saint Nicholas. He's a distant relative from the other side of the mythological spectrum. He's actually the devil. So this is very small print, so I'm going to try to get up close and read it to you. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the shelter not a creature was stirring, not even Rockfelter. Geiger counters were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that old Nicholas would soon be there. The children were all nestled, all drugged in their beds, while visions of H-bombs danced in their heads. And Mama in a gas mask, and I in saran wrap, had nestled our TV for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The balm on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes would appear but a miniature hearse and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Old Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Teller, now Dulles, now Kahn, now Nixon, on Adenauer, on Diem, and Franco and Blitzen, to the top of the perch, to the top of the wall. Now blast away, blast away, blast away all. Huh. And dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, where they meet with a obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the courses, the housetop they flew, with a sleigh full of bodies, old Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney old Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in uranium from head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of bombs he had flung on his back, and he looked like a surgeon just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like ulcers, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and he heard on his chin, oh, and the beard on his chin was as black as the snow. The stump of an arm he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he scowled like a bowl full of jelly. He was a chubby and plump, a right obese old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of an eye and a twist of the head soon gave me to know I had something to dread. He spake not a word, but went straight to his work, and radiated stockings, then turned like a jerk, and laying his finger on the side of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. Huh. He sprung like his hearse, and to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere they drove through the sky, final Christmas to all, and to all a goodbye. And that's signed Clemens C. Tuli. We all know who that is. Girl with Protruding Bottom Lip by Roberta Carter. Whoever that is. And it says here it's in green, as this whole issue is done in red and green for the Christmas season. It says, I married a beatnik. Everyone called her Saint Bridget for kicks. She neither acted like a saint nor looked like BB, being Bridget Bardot. She could have been labeled girl with flat feet, or girl with buck teeth, or even girl with protruding bottom lip. She was a swinging chick. Ugly Bridget read poetry every Saturday night in the village. In her monotone voice she would recite, highbrow, raise your eyebrow, from your pelvis to your thigh. On a cold stone couch in the thorning month of winter, I count lion's eggs as the evening star fades for the frowning dawn, or some such thing. The perceptive would glance at her and click their fingers. Click, 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 click. She retorted, cluck, cluck, cluck. They responded, click, click. Coffee would swish in those little cups, and the black-haired waitresses with flat chests would saunter to the table singing to themselves in unison, don't smile, don't wink, but frown. And she retorted, cluck, cluck. They responded, click, click. Lights low, folks singing off-key, click, click, click. Another poem. The ejaculation of a spider. The ejaculation of a spider, The erection of a man is likened to those little cloves on the side of the cooked ham. What poetry. Bridget, I love you. Same Bridget, I love you. Bridget with protruding bottom lip, I love you. Yeah. I guess this is another entry to the world's worst poetry contest. An illustration, a drawing of my Tuli. Is a parasong to Yankee Doodle Dandy. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding, and there we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. And there we saw 1,000 men as rich as Squire David, and what they wanted every day, I wish it could be saved. And there was Captain Wellington and gentle folks around him. They say he'd grown so tarnal proud, he will not ride without him. I saw another snarl of men a-digging graves, they told me, so ternal long, so ternal deep, they tended they should hold me. It scared me so I hooked it off, nor stopped as I remember, nor turn around till I got home, look up in mother's chamber. And that's by Anonymous. Now here's an article that says people are covered with blood. I like reading your paper very much. Best of all, I like those pictures where people are covered with blood. I even cut them out and save them. That's from Miss Marianne Gracie, Detroit, Michigan. Here's another drawing. Ha ha ha. Let's see. What do we have here? Here's the centerfold. I don't know if you can see it. It says, buy things. Things are good for you. Gift giving made easier by machine. Now this is 1962. It's amazing. It says, computer will give ideas to shoppers. Sounds familiar? Seems prophetic. Then there's Negro Christmas cards, atrocity photos, world's shortest nightie, pan meal gold, an invitation to loneliness, an invitation to loveliness, burial dresses, men's suits and blankets, big dick, drops assorted flavor, Smithers, West Virginia. Because of what it ain't from coast to coast is why I love New York the most. Dear Molnar, I had been dating a fellow quite steadily and suddenly found when I was with him I had to vomit without hardly any warning. Now here's a cartoon. It says, just how long, Mr. President, do you propose to tolerate a hostile base within 90 miles of our coastline? Here's a picture here. I don't know if you can see it, if this is clear. All right. What else here? Robert Anton Wilson. That's a familiar name. Suddenly seeing through the sweaty mass on the overcrowded subway the meditative eyes of a 6-year-old girl whose mother is trying to gouge her way to a seat. Robert Anton Wilson said, "There's a whore on 55th Street who walks like MacArthur wading ashore on an island. Meeting my wife's former lover, we stand in the drizzling rain, tense, trying to be friendly." Waiting for the end of Baldy's game, an anti-anti play. Well, this is very long to read. Let's see. It's too long to read. Now here is a letter from England to Tuli Kupferberg in New York. "We can rejoice. We have your cold, respectable Kennedys, whom we praise, and we have the whittling bums of the mind, the little man like yours. Let's praise them. This is Christmas and the time for worship, and I like a ragbag post. Search my year for the scrap of a gift, and what do I find? A bit of person when I was a lad in the tragic year of '86, and my memory bleeds. But one dull, acrid day with a thick stink and the choking air, I found a grip of shale. It leaves, it is the soft sleep of farm. It is an eternity I hold in my hand. I was a poor bugger with a hammer and a bucket, yes, as cold tip, searching for warmth when men were on strike. Gift number one." And then the words of someone in love as, "Suddenly it's spring." The bird cells chipping the audience and the shameless thrust of crocuses and the green infinity of grass making a desperate assertion of a self under a tree's amiability. Yes, I remember that. What summer of love I crouched is a private winter toward you, huddled like a toad, and as ugly in my mind's conceiving. But it was sperm time, love time, grapple, and the cruelty of desire as I touch and after kiss your secrecies. I was a naked man, but shrouded with a past. I was like someone with an embassy of words, stone monuments and prayers, but I and the hungry vacancy of my lips and these bewildered fingers accessing you, gift number two, my Gala of the groin. And what else shall I offer? I as lonely tonight as a forgotten man, and so Tristan de Cuba, round me is the flow of a dead world. But I shall kiss it alive. Gift number three, this night is a gala. Neither my crumbling past, nor my refusing love, nor my acorn are the thick contents of the parcel of love. I bring you gifts of the immediate heart, a naked heart, and I tell you, lift your glass and be drunk with me. Let us kiss this bloody world. The war against naked animals. He aims to put pants on dogs, slips on horses, even bikinis on cows. Crusader claims their nudity is ruining American morals. This is the man who wants to put clothes on animals. And that's from the National Enquirer. Huh. Print is too small, I can't read it. And some mailing lists. Print and red and green print. And on the back cover, we have Grand Mass Meeting to protect the holiness of the Holy City. A mixed open-air swimming pool for men and women together is being constructed in the streets of Jerusalem. That's an oddity because usually the Orthodox Hebrews don't allow men and women to swim together. On Sunday, March 23rd, Nissan 2, 5718, at 3 p.m. at Manhattan Center, 311 West 34th Street near 8th Avenue, New York City, there will take place a grand mass meeting to defend the Holy City. Let me adjust this here. Jerusalem has for thousands of years been the symbol of chastity, purity, and holiness to both Jew and Gentile over the world. The greatest rabbinical authorities of Eretz Yisrael, Chief Rabbi of Jerusalem, Tzvi Pasach Frank, amongst them, demand that we protest most vigorously. We quote their letter as follows: "To our brethren in the diaspora, we call you," we quote their letter as follows: "You dare not be quiet. Like one man with one heart, we must all rise and stand up in defense of the holiness of the Holy City. We must also protest the horrible ill treatment of tens of thousands of religious Jews by Jerusalem's police in Jerusalem. These pious Jews demonstrate quietly. For this online, they are ruthlessly being clubbed by Israeli police. Many of them are severely injured and under hospital care. We must simultaneously not forget the tens of thousands of religious children from religious homes that have been forced into Mopel anti-religious camps and are being forced to drop their religion. We must protest such unheard of prosecution. Do not fail to be there. Bring your acquaintances and friends. National Committee for Freedom of Religion in Israel." Okay. That's the back cover. And on the other side, there's increased development guaranteed penetration with the hyperemulator, which is also on Tuli's record. You know about that. A mechanotherapeutic device based on a medical principle of over 30 years. Standing hyperimmunization is as follows: progressive exercise and hyperimmunization of the muscle and erectile tissue tends to strengthen and enlarge that tissue. The penis is composed of erectile and muscle tissue. As the hyperimmunator is used, engorgement of the tissues take place. A complete erection is guaranteed, and the penile tissues are developed. The body of the hyperimmunator is a transparent cylindrical chamber which fits against the pubes and envelops the penis. Operation of the mechanism creates a vacuum, causing hyperemesis of the penis. The penis swells both in length and diameter, creating a complete full erection. Releasing the vacuum allows the penis to slowly return to the normal flaccid state. Okay. I think it's used on bulls. Now, let's see. Is there anything else you might want to know about here? 100 cars demolished. Buicks, Chevys, Chryslers, Dodges, Fords, Pontiacs, Caddies, and many more cars smashed and wrecked. Islip Speedway, Islip, Long Island. This is the first time in the world that a show of this kind has ever been presented. Every make and model of automobile has been lined up to be present and destroyed. There will be 100 cars driven by drivers of steel nerves and a desire to destroy. Each will be out to win $500 and with no holds barred. They will smash and crash and wreck each other at high speed until only the last car is running. Preparation are underway to double the number of ticket sellers and the parking attendants so as to handle the crowd very fast. It is expected that a capacity crowd will be on hand for the running of this unusual event. 2.5 hours of crashing, smashing, wrecking of 100 automobiles. Is that something that you must attend? What is the point of this? And that's via Alan Disler. And there's a picture of a smashed car there. Let's see. Oh, we're past 28 minutes. So that is the Gala Christmas issue of Yeah 5, or excerpts from it. I'm Thelma for Tuli, Revolting News current producer. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.